Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Michael Beck and the Chat GTM podcast coming live here from the National Retail Federation show, or what we affectionately call the NRF. We're at the beautiful Javits Center here in New York City. I am sitting here next to Mr. Aaron. How do I pronounce that last name?
Knape.
Knape. Knape not got that right. Yeah, I asked him before, but I got it wrong. Anyway, so jokes aside, we've been here for what, 3 days now?
Yeah, 3 long days.
3 enduring days of standing and talking and shaking hands. But guess what? There's a lot of sparkle and shine in this guy, which means he had a good show. You don't look like this if you've had a bad show and bad conversations, nobody to talk to. This guy's pockets are overflowing with leads. Why?
Man, just everybody here has been excited and they like computer vision. They like computer vision.
So let's go. We're going to talk real here. So it's a fun introduction, but the reality is Aaron here is a man to do business. He's with a company called Amniscient. What does that mean?
It's like omniscient, except it's higher up in the phone book. We wanted an A instead of the O.
Wow. He's been around me for way too long.
We're all
last
knowing.
20 minutes. Yeah, okay.
We're all
So
knowing.
Amniscient.
Yeah,
All right.
Amniscient.
But you're a computer vision company.
Correct.
How long you guys been around?
We've been around for about 5 years.
Okay.
And really starting to grow our market presence in the past year.
And what was the flagship product 5 years ago that started the company?
Well, we've actually been building a lot of the algorithms and the proprietary software for the past 5 years. So flagship product is really our proprietary engine that builds those computer vision models.
Okay, and computer vision is a big category, right?
Yeah.
It can be speed of service, it can be dwell times, it can be inventory controls, it can be all kinds of stuff, sentiment analysis, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Where are the areas that Amniscient spends time?
Yeah, so the nice thing about the Amniscient platform is it's almost use case agnostic. It can be used for anything, anywhere you're trying to identify objects or patterns or anomalies. But for the purpose of NRF and one of our flagship products that we've decided to roll out, we're using it for point of sale self-checkouts.
Oh, okay.
So what we can do with that is we can essentially enable any kiosk to become a computer vision checkout with nothing more than a webcam and an internet connection.
And this is the idea of digital twins. I swing my bag of Doritos underneath the camera. It recognizes the bag, not the barcode or UPC, or how's it work?
That's correct, yeah. So it could be a bag of Doritos, it could be an apple with no label on it, it could be a plate of, a hamburger and fries. And it would recognize that, no barcodes needed.
Okay.
Yep.
And so you're here at the retail show. What's the application use case you're promoting here to your customers that are coming through?
Yeah, primarily we're seeing a lot of interest from that point of sale self-checkout side, right? So you'll see machines here where you have to buy a very large, very expensive computer vision checkout. You don't need that with us. You can take your existing kiosk, like the ELO unit we have behind us, just put a camera on it. Now you've got a computer vision checkout.
Really?
Yeah. One line of API code for integration.
Okay.
And away you go.
And so let's talk about the complexity of getting this in people's hands, right?
Yeah.
So you have 1,000 SKUs. How does that system consume those SKUs to be able to recognize those items, to be able to utilize this?
Yeah.
What's the implementation look like?
Yeah, so we actually have our own app that allows you to ingest or collect those objects. And what we found is very interesting, right? You have databases that are public, but a lot of our clients here want to keep their data. And so we allow them to collect their own objects, build their own computer vision models that only apply to them. We use an iPhone for collection. Very, very simple process. Takes about 10, 15 seconds to collect an object. Does it require
the spatial version of iPhone, or is it just a picture?
It requires the spatial version, So we're actually, our whole model and engine just requires very little data. But to be able to do that properly, you do want to use an iPhone that does get the proper, spatial orientations, et cetera. But that way we don't have to use, 1,000 pictures of something from a poor camera.
Right.
You use the iPhone and all the technology on that camera, and you can use very little data, highly accurate data. And that allows us to build these models very, very rapidly at a very low cost.
Okay.
Yep.
And being this is kind of new country, new territory for a lot of companies, it feels like there needs to be some sort of consulting that happens inside of your business to be able to get them set up on the right track.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah. Well, so first of all, we built the whole platform to be very, very easy to use, right? Which is hard. It's hard to build something easy.
Yes.
So from the collection to the platform where you input the data and build the models, You don't need any sort of machine learning engineers. You don't need data scientists. A general manager at a store could operate this platform. But on top of that, we do understand that all of our customers aren't computer vision experts. So we do have an arm within Amniscient called Amni Launch.
Okay.
And so it's like the white glove service. We're going to offer the clients best practices. Here's how you do implementation. Here's how you operate the system. And then really our goal is to train the customers on how to operate it themselves.
Well, the trainer approach,
yeah,
right?
We're not trying to sell services in perpetuity.
Right.
We believe the system is easy enough to use on your own. We want to train you how to do it. We'll give you those best practices, and then you can call us whenever you need us after that.
Okay. And so behind us, you have an ELO device. I imagine you're agnostic to the devices you work with?
Correct. Yeah, we can work on any kiosk out there, any operating platform.
And so am I correct in assuming that if I scan in this cup, right?
Yeah.
Now I have a digital twin that I created using spatial AI or spatial photography using an iPhone.
Yep.
Would that simply just append to the PLU I already have, so recognize it what's in there? Or how's that connection between the object and the PLU work? I imagine it's still part of the story, right?
Yeah, that's
how's that work?
That's part of our platform, our Amnisphere platform, which is where you manage all of your products. And so when you go in and you give us your list of products, your coffee cup, your bag of Doritos, your Pepsi, you're going to actually input your UPC codes or whatever identifier you want to use. And then then you can think about like we're replacing the barcode scanner. You're going to put that coffee cup underneath the camera. The camera's going to say, if it's got a barcode that said it was UPC 12345, our camera's going to say, hey, this is coffee cup UPC 12345, and we simply just throw that at your point of sale system and you ring it up like that. So
fantastic. Is there a certain direction you have to shoot it from? I mean, you got volume things, you got top down. What's kind of the requirements for recognizing?
No, we typically just use one camera and we use it just a slight angle. That way we can get a side view of the unit, of the object itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
So looking at this, I mean, it seems like it's a no-brainer to me. Why would somebody not do this? What are the objections you run into when you're saying, hey, let's take a look at this stuff?
Yeah, historically, computer vision's been very expensive. It's been very hard to implement.
Yeah.
And then you've had a lot of people who come out and, it's very similar to what you've seen with LLMs. People are just doing it just to do it. And they're not thinking through the actual, is it actually productive? Is it helping us do something better? Are we really solving a problem? Are we doing it to be cool?
Yeah.
We try to get rid of all of that, right? So speed, cost, ease of use, those are all things that we've solved for. Especially at the enterprise level, right? I mean, at the end of the day, we're a B2B enterprise company, and that's really challenging to do. And then that implementation component of it, right? We kind of are the training wheels and help you get into it before we kind of take the training wheels off and push you up on your own. So
thinking about the technology, right? Outside of the cool factor, because it is cool, right?
Thank you.
Has there been any data you've collected as far as lift, ROI, what the improvements are, if they go over that over a coded product or RFID product or something like that?
Yeah. What we're finding is, with computer vision checkout, it is a lot faster, right? So think about a barcode scanner or even a person behind a counter scanning. It's one item at a time. Right, and then
multiple items at a time?
Oh, we can do 100 items at a time if we wanted to.
So we can flat.
Yeah, just as long as it's flat, you can put 100 items on this tray behind you, and it will catch every item. So we're able to do. So you can do that, and that speeds it up. Dramatically. Automatically, right? We know we use the same technology in manufacturing. We're looking at 100,000 items coming off of a manufacturing line a day, in an 8-hour shift, and you've got to have that speed of computer vision to recognize and look for anomaly. So speed is definitely one of the big factors that we solve for. We're really focused on, to an extent, what we call the loss prevention. Right now you're scanning an item in the store and it doesn't ring up. A lot of people don't put it back, do they? They just go ahead and put it in the bag and they walk out, right?
Their fault it didn't be.
Yeah, computer vision will catch a lot of those items whenever they're going through the checkout. So, yep.
So let's talk a little bit about the minds behind this. Right? You got really smart people working on this stuff.
We do, yeah.
What gave them the chops to do this?
It's interesting. So our founder, a guy named Suresh Yalamanchili, goes by Chili.
Okay.
Yeah. He was a part of another company that saw a problem where they were trying to get a lot of people through like a cafeteria line in a short period of time. And there was just no solution out there. And they had looked at some computer vision solutions. And again, it was just too expensive, too hard to implement. And so he just went to work on the problem. You know, he knew a little bit about technology. He's got a lot of experience in the IoT world and started teaching himself about AI, started surrounding himself with some AI experts and PhDs, and started building that technology to solve, you know, that one specific problem. And so since we've built those initial engines, the team has grown tremendously. So now we're about 30 people here domestically. Okay. Everything from, you know, a lot of our engineers, our PhD AI guys. We've got our product management team, growing our sales team with some of our lovely people you've met here at the show.
Very lovely.
So yeah, it's been a really good growth trajectory over the past couple of years. Yeah.
What brought you on board?
You know, that's a really good.
Outside backing up a truck full of money, there's a reason why.
Yeah. That's a really great question. So, look, I've got another company called Revelry Tech. Okay. We build kiosks. And about a year ago, Chili approached me and said, "Hey, we should put computer vision on your kiosk. I built a platform that's really easy to make that happen." And I had the same perceptions of computer vision. It's expensive, it's hard, it takes forever, and you need all these engineers to do it. And he said, "You don't need any of that with Amniscient." And I said, "Great, prove it to me." And so I took a kiosk, probably this one, and took it home and bought some cameras, called my developer, and I said, "Come over and let's tinker with this thing." And we actually made it work in the course of about 2 to 3 days. Like, we turned this into it. Now, it was a beta.
POC. Right?
Yeah, it was a POC, but it worked. I could throw it. I bought a bunch of plastic food that my kids were playing with, and started using that as my test stuff, and it worked really well. And so, you know, getting into that and that overlap I had with the other technology company, I thought, man, you know, computer vision is kind of an untapped frontier, right? It's been slow adoption because of the expense and everything. I said, these guys have really cracked the code. They've figured something out. And it's not just for, you know, off the shelf type stuff. Like, this is really reliable enterprise grade stuff that's easy to implement, and it's really hard to find that. So it would, then I said, I've got to join this. So started helping them out on a consultative basis, and now I'm CRO.
Who knew? That's awesome. Yeah, congratulations. That's beautiful.
Thanks.
So thinking about that, and applications for computer vision are practically limitless within the realm of what it can do, right? Yeah. And today it feels like, or from what I'm hearing, it's a transaction engine saying, here's where we're going to ring up on the orders. What other areas is Amniscient looking at to open up the other parts that this logic would lead to next?
Yeah, you know, in the, just starting with the food and beverage world, we've had a lot of great discussions and use cases. So, I mean, there's certainly the food and the transactions that are happening, you know, in the restaurants. We've been approached, and we're actually working with some various, we'll call them restaurants and brands that manufacture some of their own food, and maybe they're shipping them out to grocery stores. And you're CPG folks, can you help us with quality control back at the factory? Can you help us ensure quality coming off the line? We're certainly getting those discussions around productivity. So, and quality of orders. So, hey, are all the items that need to go in the to-go bag going in the to-go bag? Yep. Are the items moving around the kitchen the way they should? And then it just goes well beyond that, right? Like I said, manufacturing, industrial manufacturing. We've got use cases that we're talking to our clients about in agriculture, right? Identifying weeds in a crop so that you don't have to spray pesticide everywhere. Yeah, you got a laser, right? Like, there's a great company out of California using similar technology, and you laser the weed. You don't actually have to spray pesticide on everything.
Everywhere. Yeah,
that's exactly right. Or herbicide, yeah.
And it sounds like all of these applications you're describing to me are facing product, not people. You're not doing anything around sentiment analysis, the people on the people side.
Yeah, not yet. You know, that's an interesting space. We have the ability to do things like facial recognition and go beyond that. I think for us, it's important to really focus on one really huge area.
Nail it before you scale it.
Nail it before you scale it. So those things are in the back of our mind and on our roadmap. I think for us, you know, if it comes to things like facial and sentiment, you know, that's where we reach out and we would work with partners. I don't need to get into the sticky world of spatial data floating around the internet.
Ooh, and then there's all kinds of litigious fun that happens when you get into that sticky.
We'll let some of that play out, and then we'll see if we want to implement those models.
All right. So, Aaron, you are not the CRO of Amniscient. You're a guy that walked in the door. Your inner child says, I want to go see this. What was it? Walking into the NRF.
Oh, man. There's been so many cool things here. There's been so many cool things. You know, I think I'm really enjoying the advancement in a lot of the robotic stuff that we're seeing. And, you know, when you think about, you know, last year it was LLMs, and you're still seeing a lot of the agentic stuff. I think this year it's really cool to see. You are seeing a lot more computer, and you're seeing a lot more robotics. And I'm excited about some of the combinations I've seen here. I think that we're starting to better use LLMs to give contextual awareness to things like computer vision, and some of the robots are starting to act a little smarter than they have been. They're not falling over as much. So yeah, I've been really impressed with a lot of the robotic stuff that I've seen here.
Yeah, it feels like robots and computer vision are a marriage made in heaven too. If the robot could go around and count shelves in the grocery store or something
That's
like
exactly
that,
right.
really
Yeah. That's exactly right. Yeah. And I think that's been a lot of the shortcoming, right? The computers have been able to see, and they can count to some extent, and they can give you kind of black and white binary feedback. But LLMs are actually a great synergistic addition because they give you full context of what you're looking at, right?
Well,
Not, oh, it's 7 cans, but they can tell you all about it. So,
awesome.
yeah, true spatial intelligence.
We live in such an exciting time. I don't know what I've done in the 1800s when you had to use corn cobs for, well, never mind. So, I love being in the future is now. That's the whole thing, guys. Like every time we look around, it's like Star Trek kind of shorted it. We're not teleporting yet, but we're quantum teleporting some things.
Yeah.
But we have our communicators. I go home, I make a picture in 2D, I hit a button, it's 3D, I hit another button, it comes out in my garage on my 3D printer.
Yeah.
A few hours later.
Yeah.
Like we're in an amazing time to be alive. And companies like Amniscient that are pioneering this kind of technology that make it easier, that make the load and the lift about putting a barcode or an RFID or something like that on a product, and to be able to organically understand that this is an Apple, it's a Granny Smith, and it costs this much. That's fantastic, especially if he says they don't have to look at one item at a time, and literally the entire grocery conveyance could just be looked at as it goes through, and, and it's rang up.
That's exactly right.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. So my last questions are, one, where are you showing next so people can run into you and have a conversation with you?
Where are we showing next? That's a good question. I think we're going to be at NRA, National Restaurant Association.
Okay.
And we'll be at
Next.
NACS.
Okay.
So that's it.
And what?
CES.
CES? Next year.
Next year.
Got it. All right. Well, and then the last question is, if people were interested in this and said, you know, I'd like to talk to Aaron. Sounds like a fun guy to talk to. How do they get a hold of you?
Amniscient.com.
Okay.
You can find us on LinkedIn at Amniscient, AMNSCIENT.
You passed the spelling
Look
bee,
at that.
folks.
I won the spelling bee.
I love it.
So we're certainly on LinkedIn, and then I am just Aaron.Knape at Amniscient.com.
Or Aaron on LinkedIn.
That's it.
Absolutely. Well, Aaron, it's a pleasure, dude.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you for having
pleasure,
me.
man.
It's a blast. Absolutely. I love your crew, your team. I love what you guys are working on. I lead in the future in a way that a lot of people don't. My garage is filled with what I call the island of misfit toys. Every version of everything is sitting there with us collecting on it. I think I got 5 different quesadilla makers. One's called the Panini Press. Another one's called the George Foreman. Another one's called the quesadilla maker. It's all the same device, but I keep buying them.
The new versions.
Yes. But the whole thing is here, you don't have to figure out or crack the code. When you're walking the floor here, these are people that already tried all the other versions, came here to now to put the right thing in your hands. And I have a feeling that if you talk to Amniscient, they will put you on the right path. And if it's not the fit for what they do, I'm sure they have partners that they'll put you in contact with as well. Which is that's how good people do this.
Huge partner network.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Aaron, I cannot believe it went this far.
I can.
Bad jokes.
You did a great job.
Wah, wah, wah. Hey, it was the Chat GTM podcast signing off here for the last time from the National Retail Federation show. And as always, random acts of kindness. Sprinkle that stuff everywhere like Salt Bay. It's more popular than he is now. You never know whose day you're going to change. See how Lily's smiling? It worked. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a blessed day and thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.